This is the plaintiff, Janet Angier. She says the defendant put a new walkway in at her music school and killed her prized and beautiful weeping Japanese cherry tree. The guy hacked into the main root, which is the tree's vital artery. He also did a poor job on the sidewalk because it heaves in the winter. Bottom line, this guy's a schlub who shouldn't be permitted to work in this field. And she wants to be compensated to the tune of $5,000. This is the defendant, Kelly Gannon. He says he states in his contract that he will guarantee any trees for a year if he moves them. First, he didn't move her tree. And second, that thing died well over a year after he finished the job. As far as the pavers moving a little, he fixed them and has no idea what this lady's beef is all this time later. He's accused of not being true to a tree.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Janet Angier and Music in Chappaqua Incorporated. You are suing Kelly Gannon.
Yes.
And Gannon Home Improvement of Westchester Incorporated for $5,000. You say your damages are more than double that. Because according to you, he negligently put in a walkway that ended up killing a Japanese cherry tree, correct?
Yes.
Why'd you look shocked? I'm talking about your case and you look surprised. Go ahead, talk to me, Ms. Angier. Tell me what happened.
I hired Mr. Gannon to put in a walkway. I have a photograph of the existing walkway.
The one that's there now when you say existing, or you mean the pre-existing?
Pre-existing, my mistake. And I just want to make a note before I pass it to you that it shows the exit being close to the curb cut. It shows the cherry tree as it existed before the walkway was put in, and the grasses that were also killed.
Okay.
There are two views of this. I'll keep one down here for me.
Okay. So this is the old walkway. And this is a walkway to what, a music school?
Yes, to my music school.
All right. And when he put in the walkway, according to you, he had a guarantee in his contract that any plants that he moved would be warranted for a year. Is that correct?
Yes, that was the written part, but when it came time to put in the walkway, he decided that he didn't want to move the tree, but at that time he did verbally guarantee the life of the cherry tree.
Okay, so are you saying that originally you thought you would be moving the cherry tree?
Yes.
Why? Because he said so?
Because I was afraid it would die.
What, but why would it die? You already have a walkway there. It's not like you're creating a walkway in a place that doesn't have a walkway. The walkway's there, so why would you think it would die?
The new walkway was placed a significant distance further.
What is this a picture of?
This is the new walkway. This is the pre-existing walkway.
Okay, let me see those next to each other.
She has the pre-existing.
Okay, got it. So the new walkway was going to be closer to where the cherry tree was.
Correct.
And that's why the discussion was that the cherry tree was going to be moved.
Yes.
All right, is it accurate that the discussion was that the cherry tree was going to be moved initially?
No.
Never. According to you, that was never discussed.
No.
Okay, so if the tree wasn't moved, what did he do to it?
He cut the root, the main northern root.
How do you know that he cut the root?
I saw it.
You saw him cut the root?
I was there when he did the work.
Did you say something to him?
I did.
What'd you say?
I said, you cut the root, and he said, that won't kill the tree.
Okay, are there any witnesses to that conversation?
No.
Okay, did she say to you, you cut the root? Did you cut the root?
No. I didn't cut the root.
Who else did that work with you? Did anybody else?
He was the foreman on the job.
Come on up. What is your name?
My name is Xavier. I'm the one.
Your last name is?
Quinder.
Mr. Quinder, were you there at this job?
I manage all the job. I'm the one who actually built the walkway. First of all, I didn't cut any roots. And only the plants we moved is right next to the house. Anything else we didn't touch at all. So I don't know what day she saw the roots get cut. First of all, while I was doing the job.
See, here's the thing. You warrant trees that you move for 1 year.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you hear from her first?
Well after the year. She called me one time that it heaved because we did it in around Thanksgiving.
It being the walkway.
Yes.
The tiles in the walkway
Yes. Heaved because we did it in around Thanksgiving because that's when she closed for a week. So she wanted us to see if we can get in and do that. I said it's a kind of a late time this year to do it because the ground may freeze after it's in, but we figured we'd give it a shot.
Okay.
So we put it in. The ground did freeze over the winter, and it heaved. So that.
But I don't understand. So what that the ground freezes? Are you saying everywhere that there's like a tile hardscape, it's going to freeze and it's going to leak?
Because no.
Because she's suing for two things. The cherry tree is one of them, and we're going to talk more about that in a second, but she's also suing for the actual job.
Well, we fixed the heaves. We fixed it. We have the job. This is the finished job. There's no heaving. We fixed everything. Here,
Okay.
show all of it.
According to her, there's heaving now, right?
No.
Both winters that the walkway has existed through, it's heaved to the point that you can't walk on it. He's repaired it twice.
Okay.
And I assume it will happen again next winter because he has done nothing to change the cause of the heaving.
Okay.
No,
Why
she's
would it
wrong.
heave a second time?
The first time it heaved was a heaver. The second time was the
Wait,
front.
the first time it heaved?
It heaved was just from the freezing.
Okay.
The second time it
because you
didn't.
did the job too late in the year.
Yes. The
Okay.
second time it didn't heave, what was happening is the front part here, he'll tell you better, it dropped. We put like a riser, and the riser dropped down, which didn't heave, only made was the end two went like on a tilt like this, and then
Okay.
we fixed it. We put in a bigger slate thing that he'll
All
explain.
right,
that
how
to.
long is the guarantee? Like, how many times will you go out for free and fix stuff? Like, I don't know. Do you have something in writing with them
Well,
about it?
you usually guarantee it for a year, but usually if somebody calls, if there's something inferior with my job, I've been in business 20 years, and if it's inferior, if it's my mistake, I'll come out and do it every time,
Okay.
indefinitely.
And in fact, that second job was past the one-year
Yes.
guarantee, and you guys came and you did it for free, you fixed
Yes.
it, and you, okay. All right, now, is there an expert? Who are the gentlemen who are with you?
Mr. Winterstein, Dan Winterstein, is my manager,
Okay.
and Marcus Borba is a paving expert
Okay.
for Unilock, this type of
Okay.
paving
I want to talk
stones.
to him in 1 second, but I suppose your manager did not see a cut route, right? Did
He wasn't there, it was
Right,
Thanksgiving
okay.
time.
No problem. Now, do you have any expert testimony
Yes.
from some arborist saying that in fact that root was cut?
He couldn't say it was cut, but he did say that it was dead, and he
Well, no,
did.
the thing is very true. In the words of the Munchkin and the Wizard of Oz, it's very truly, really dead. We know that because you ended up having to remove the tree.
And
the
the
question is, do
payment-
they have to pony up your cap is $5,000, but you're suggesting that the tree costs $10,000, to plant, and so no, just a second, look at me. Even assuming they cut a root, and that I believed you and not them about them cutting a root, you have to be able to prove to me that cutting a root killed the thing. And you don't even have that. You don't have a statement saying, the cutting of the root killed this thing. That it's dead, yes, we know it's dead. Okay, so now, let's talk to your witness. Go ahead, what did you want to show me in the pictures?
I want to show you the placement of the path with proximity to the base of the tree in this photograph. And if you look at the base of the tree in the original photograph, you can see that there is enough room around the base of the tree that the entire...
You have to, listen, Ms. Angier, you've got to prove to me that they did something wrong that caused the death. Can you do that? Because everything you're saying to me is
No
total
tree
supposition.
can live this close to any path.
Okay, now I need somebody other than you to say that. Do you have an arborist who says no tree can live that close to a path?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's what you need when you want somebody to pony up 10 grand. That's how it works. You got to be able to prove that something they did killed the tree. All right, now let me talk to Mr. Unilock. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Mr. Borba.
Say it again?
Marcus Borba.
All right, Mr. Borba, what are you here to elucidate me on?
As far as the installation goes of the pavers, Mr. Gannon is a home improvement contractor. He's not an authorized Unilock installer. Is that correct?
And did he, well, are you?
I've done several of them, and there's no license you got to take to be a patio installer.
Is there some authorized Unilock installer?
Yes, yes. If you're not authorized, you're not going to do the job correctly, and that's why they have the heaving.
Okay.
I'm here to talk about the heaving and the problem that's going on there. One of the problems is that they use the improper setting bed material. They use stone dust.
Okay.
Now, most...
Hold
it
on
was
one
stone
second.
dust. Yeah,
You can answer, but not during.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So take notes if you like. Go ahead. They use
Yeah,
stone dust.
They use stone dust instead of concrete sand. What
Okay.
the stone dust does, it absorbs the water in the winter, and it pops the pavers.
How do you know they use stone dust?
Because I looked at the job, I picked it up, and I saw it. Unilock will warranty the work if it's not done
Okay.
properly.
Okay.
Now, another thing that I saw was the fact that
Did you
they
see a
didn't-
problem right now?
Yes, it's gonna fail again in the winter.
Okay, so that's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's gonna fail.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if you cut the main root of a very mature cherry tree, could that kill it?
Most definitely. The main root is what all the other roots come out of. And so if you don't have that main root.
She sounds so authoritative. I'm actually believing her. You buy that?
No, I'm a botanical expert, and the problem is how deep the cut is and what the other roots are.
Are you really a botanical expert?
Yeah.
Oh my God, how random is that, really?
Yeah. So if you have smaller roots, they can actually take over and regrow.
Fascinating. Why would I go to anybody else? We got this dude here. What'd you think of her?
It was great. Sometimes she's right. I mean, it could happen that way.
Okay, there you go. Going inside the courtroom.
What I have is a situation where the 2 times that there's been an issue, the vendor has immediately come out and fixed the issue. I'm going to sever that part of your case without prejudice to you to bring it again if you want to in a court of law if there actually is a third fail that's not addressed. Or, frankly, a third fail, because nobody wants to call you especially after they've sued you, they don't want to call you every winter, okay? If there is a third issue, then that's different. This isn't about any buckling that hasn't been addressed. This is about the cherry tree, which you felt a connection to, and it's very expensive to replace, and you don't want to have to replace it at your cost. You want them to pay for it, but you're unable to prove that it's their fault, and therefore my verdict in this case is for the defendant. But if there is another problem, that is a separate lawsuit, okay, that is not covered by what we're talking about. If there is a problem with it buckling, then that is a systemic problem that she has a right to bring a lawsuit on in the future. But I am not here to deal with what might happen and assess damages that haven't occurred.
Okay, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
She has a sprinkler system that runs throughout her whole thing, goes under the patio, right? And there was a time that there was a break in the sprinkler, which was repaired. But now, if that sprinkler fails again,
I don't know. That's going to be an issue for another judge because the pavers that I'm dealing with don't have a problem now.
No.
But that's it, folks. We're done. That's my verdict. Goodbye. Good luck.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Judge.
See you in court, Kelly.
See what the plaintiff has to say coming out of the courtroom on the losing end of this case. What's your first reaction to the outcome here?
I'm very upset. I'm angry, and I feel like I wasn't heard. And this winter.
Well, you said you'll see him in court again. You just said that
yes,
as the case ended.
To.
You expect this to heave, and you expect to drag him back in here again?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you get an expert to testify to the fact that root was cut?
I don't know these things. I don't know about how to run a court case.
Okay. All right, right down there. All right, head right down that way. And come on in here. Was this about your reputation, or was this about the money? What were you fighting about here?
Well, it was primarily about my reputation because I'm an honorable contractor and I always stand true to what I do. And when she tried to tell me a year after the job was done that the tree died, I was like...
What do you think killed this tree?
It could have just been, they're very gentle trees. They could have anything. It could have been the winter. It could have been not a dry summer. It could have been several different things.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, when you have a dispute with somebody over something technical, you pretty much need to bring an expert into court. In small claims court, you can bring notarized statements in, but you need somebody supporting your point of view who knows what they're talking about. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.